Hi everybody, we're here at Geary Elementary Community School and we're doing a project. It's an art project, so these children range in age from kindergarten to grade 5, and the project is about outdoor sculpture, and so it's named the Geary Elementary Sculpture Garden. I'm working with the Fredericton Arts Alliance, who have given me a grant, and so this has enabled me to be able to work with the school. I'm from a small community in French Lake, and it's right beside the school, and my own children, one of them is now in middle school, but my oldest daughter went there and my youngest daughter goes there. So I wanted to be able to work with the children in that school because it's in my community. I felt close to the teachers, I knew them, and I thought this would be a wonderful opportunity to be able to bring some of my skills and my art experience to them directly into their classroom, and with all of those little kids in the school. It will be a wonderful project. So I started to keep my notebooks on Pinterest and Facebook, and so I would see these garden projects coming up again for mixtures called hypertufa, which were a combination of peat moss, perlite, which is these tiny little volcanic stones, mixed with cement, and then of course water to make it all into a kind of a soupy, slurry kind of mixture. And you can do it at different consistencies. But anyway, I saw this on Pinterest and I thought that would be perfect. I would love to allow the kids to use this because it actually looks and acts like a clay when it's made with a thick consistency. So I knew it was something that they could handle. And so I thought, well, we could make sculpture. We could go outdoors with it and they would be able to play with a product that normally people make pavements from. These sculptures look like stone people, right? So there's head and shoulders, and they're placed on the surface, on the ground. So for all intents and purposes, it looks like they're almost emerging from the ground. And the kids have called them like stone people or cement heads. But what they're going to be is vessels. They're made of this hypertufa cement mix, and they harden like rock. But then the heads will be hollow, they'll be scooped out, and then they're going to put some potting soil and plants, seeds, maybe they can grow herbs in them as well, and then they'll grow like the hair. We had 9 classes in total, and the children ranged from kindergarten up to grade 5. So I had to kind of divide it into, I thought, well, what's manageable, what can we attain? So I thought, well, if we do 1 per class, every class has a sense of ownership and pride, and each of them are going to be unique. So they'll be able to point it out and say, hey, you know, that's Mrs. Manuel's one, or that's Mrs. Arnaud's, and that was my class's work. So I divided it into stages. So first they had to make the stuffing, or the inside, because it needed something robust, like a frame that the wire and all of that hypertufa mix could push against, and it wouldn't kind of like collapse in on top of itself. So we used newspaper and bubble wrap. So all of that kind of, the stuffing came from things that we were able to recycle, like the garbage, so to speak, that's left around in your house. And the children rolled them up into balls. And what was nice about this is, you know, there were no big criteria. It didn't have to be any sized ball. So every child in the class was able to do this, and they weren't told, no, that's not good enough, or it has to be the right size. They were able to throw themselves into it and just really play. So when they made these, the stuffing, they brought them together and they composed a head, and they wrapped it in bubble wrap to hold all of that contents in. And then they made the neck, and then they made the shoulders, the spheres and the cylinder for the neck, and then a kind of a longer one for the shoulders. And they were able to place them all together, so they had the stuffing. And I had a great vision that they'd be able to do the entire project, all 9 classes, because that's what I wanted. I wanted them to do it. It wasn't to be my artwork. I just wanted to kind of be a facilitator and go, hey, look, you can do this, keep going. I'll give you materials and I'll show you how and make suggestions, but I wanted it to be their artwork when it was finished, not mine. So stage 1, the stuffing is done. Stage 2, we had to wrap it in chicken wire. So the wire can be difficult for little hands to use, and it's spiky. So I knew that I would have to wrap that just for safety reasons. So that was stage 2. So I wrapped them all in chicken wire and showed them what I was doing. And then stage 3, we mixed up this hypertufa mix, which is the perlite, moss peat, and cement in an equal ratio. And what's interesting about it, and I don't know much about gardening or making, potting mixture for plants, but it's a bit like, okay, well, I have an art problem and I need to solve this art problem. So I start having to read about cement mixes and perlite stone. And so perlite comes from volcanic areas. It's like this little stone, a byproduct. And it's super light, and it looks almost like styrofoam, that fake snow that you get in packaging. And it's used to aerate soil. So the idea is it's nice and light, and it allows air to pass through your soil, or through any mixture for that matter. And then the peat moss is, it's dry, and it looks almost and smells a bit like manure, which the kids were all fascinated with. They kept saying, it smells like a farm, smells like horse poop. It retains moisture. So you have this thing that causes air in the mixture, and then the moss peat will actually hold moisture in, and then the cement bonds it all together. So it creates this fake rock structure, for want of a better word, right, called hypertufa. So when it dries, it becomes a perfect receptacle for things to grow on it. So it should age, and you'll have moss growing on it. Like if little seeds fell, like grass and stuff, that would actually grow off of it too. So that will be fun. The children, I'm hoping will paint some grass mixture on for beards or for mustaches, and that will grow. So stage 3 was making this hypertufa mixture, and it became really messy really fast. So the first 3 classes we had, I realized that the mixture dries out very fast, and over the course of 1 hour, which doesn't seem like a long time, the cement was already starting to set. And we had on Tuesday a light breeze, which is not hypertufa's friend, because that increases the drying rate. And we had sun, and we had lots of bugs. So it was starting to feel like a masochistic art lesson. And I thought, no, we have to save this. The kids just didn't, they were having a hard time handling it. And as some of them would hit the mixture on the back, some of the mixture on the front of the sculptures would fly off. So I needed to find a way that we could break it down into smaller bits so that it would be more controlled. I also borrowed a mini cement mixer, which meant that I could mix up an industrial sized batch of the hypertufa. So when they were coated, they all came from the same batch, and it was made at the same time. So we weren't in danger of bits of it drying out or other bits of it falling off, because they were at 2 different stages of curing. So the children got to actually help me make the mix and prepare it. And they also, we coated the trays and stuff. I wanted them to be able to name it. We were going to call it the Geary Sculpture Garden, because it's the Geary Elementary Community School, and their logo and their mascot is a gator, and they call themselves the Geary Gators. So I thought, well, it would be really nice to make a sign, like stepping stones, that would go right in front of this group of 9 outdoor sculptures to say the Geary Gators Sculpture Garden. So, and it had a nice rhyme to it, and they really liked that. They thought, it's so cool. So we made signs, and each class took some letters, and we've made, and they've spelled out the sign. So I guess the project expanded slightly in that we were each going to make, or each class, all 9 of them, make a little outdoor sculpture, which was a head. And because there were limitations with that, rather than say, well, guess what, you can't do it, it was a case of, okay, they can do it, but we just can't do it with this volume over this amount of time. When we scaled it back, we now ended up with a sign spelling out what it is as well, which is really cool. I'm going to introduce you to some of the students of Geary Elementary Community School. We're going to ask the kids some questions. We're going to ask them how old they are, what grade they're in.
Hi, my name is Landon. I'm 10 years old and I'm in grade 5. Hi, my name is William, and I'm 10 years old, and I'm in grade 5.
My name is Caden Lavalley. I'm 11 years old and I'm in grade 5.
I'm in grade 4. My name is Matea and I am 10. My name is Janessa. I'm in grade 5 and I'm 10.
My name is Zachary and I am in grade 5.
I'm Alyssa. I am 9 years old and I am in grade 4. My name is Grace and I am in grade 4 and I am 9 years old.
My name is Ryan. I'm in grade 5 and I'm 11 years old.
My name is Brooklyn. I'm 11 and I'm in grade 5.
My name is Kaz.
We're going to ask them, do they like art? What's their favorite kind of art?
Well, I love art a lot. I don't really have a favorite because I love like every type of art that you can do. So that would be my answer.
I like art and it's basically the same as her. I like every kind of art.
I like art a lot. My favorite kind of art would be like the art where you take little pieces of tissue paper and you place them on to make designs.
My favorite art would be sketching.
Making little like video game things.
Yeah, I do like art and I think my favorite type is sketching.
My favorite kind of art would probably be abstract just because it's kind of messy and it looks kind of neat sometimes. Art is awesome and my favorite art is playing with clay.
And we asked them, what would you like to name your statue?
Billy Bob Joe.
Bob.
Mr. Puffy Man. That's the name.
Mine would probably be Bob.
The Minion statue.
I would name it Captain Pippi.
Fred.
Squiggle. Grace.
Probably Willis.
Arnold.
Blobby.
What do you think about this art project?
I like this art a lot because everybody gets to work together and have fun and make something that's pretty cool.
Thank you for visiting the Geary School. I hope you enjoyed our outdoor sculpture project and we'll see you again soon.